Now, before I tell you what's in the August issue of the Mover magazine, in my leader this time, I've had a little bit of a nag, which is something that I don't normally do. I'm normally quite well behaved, but I had a bit of a nag about advertising, because our magazine, as I'm sure you know, is an independent magazine, and we are funded entirely by advertising. And it seems to me that we have literally thousands of readers all over the world who enjoy the magazine and like reading it every month. And yet we have a relatively small number of a nucleus, if you like, of advertisers that in effect pay for the production of the magazine. Now, I know those advertisers get good value, otherwise they wouldn't be there, of course. But it seems a bit of a shame that we don't get a wider cross-section of advertisers in the magazine. And so I've just simply said that if you are providing services to the moving industry worldwide, then just consider putting something in the magazine, advert in the magazine. It's not particularly expensive, and bear in mind that it also gives you not just the advert in the magazine, which is a live advert, so it links right through to your websites and so on, but we also cover you in social media as well, and so you're getting the best of both worlds. And the other thing, of course, as well, is that now that the magazine is just digital, we can include video as well. So if you've got video that you want to include as part of your advertisement, you can do that too. It's a very flexible medium. Anyway, that's the end of the nag, but I just wanted to make the point, because I think there are probably quite a number of companies around the world that will benefit from being in the magazine that maybe don't know enough about it. So that's my end of my rant. Anyway, loads of stuff in the magazine this month, as always. The lead story, which is on page, what is it? It's on page 16, which is an interview with Ray De Silva. Now, those of you who know Ray know that he is the kind of guy that just likes to get things done. He doesn't spend too much time faffing around with things. He just cracks on and does them. And I've called the story "Build It and They Will Come," because he's talking about trying to develop systems within the moving industry that smooth the whole process of communicating between agents and shipping lines and port authorities and customs departments and insurance companies and all this kind of thing. Make the whole thing much smoother. And in fact, there is a meeting at the IM conference in October about this very thing. Please read the story. It's interesting to find out a bit more about Ray, but it's particularly interesting to find out about what he's doing about this communication thing. And I know you'll be interested in it. And knowing Ray, if anybody can make it work, he can. So do please have a look at those at that story. A few other things. There's a really nice story that I've got from Mozambique. It's from the Maputo Relocation Company, and it's just talking about working in Mozambique. And of course, it's not a country that most of us have all that much connection with, and different cultures and different ways of doing things are always interesting, I think. So have a look at that one. It's a nice story. Now, there's also an interesting. This is a UK story, but interestingly, it's sort of mirrored elsewhere. The UK housing market is down. The number of people moving in the UK housing market is down. And it's on page 20 of the magazine. Have a look at it. And it's a report that from somebody that was a speaker at the BAR conference, a chap called Mark Hayward. And he's from the National Association of Estate Agents. And he was not just simply saying that the market is down, he was saying why it's down and that it's going to stay down. And actually, in our September issue, which you obviously haven't seen yet, we have a similar kind of story that has come in from the United States, which is saying similar kind of things and giving very similar reasons. Now, the reasons, for example, are that there has become a cultural change. It was, for example, when I first bought my house when I was a young man, I was thinking of it in terms of an investment. Now, people tend nowadays to leave buying their house until much later, but don't think of it as an investment. They think of it as a home. And that has resulted in a change in the frequency with which people move. It used to be said that people move once every 7 years. That figure is now up to 23 years. And so if you wonder, if you're in the moving business and you wonder why it's more difficult to get business nowadays, that might be part of the reason. But interestingly, it's the same in the States. So read that one next month as well. So it's interesting stories on page 20 of the magazine. What else have we got? Oh yeah, well there's loads of stuff of course, as always, but on page 40 I'm desperately sad to have to tell you that there's an obituary for Dennis Caulfield. Now we as always with our obituaries, we don't publish them straight away. We don't like to shoot from the hip with these things. We like to do if you like, a proper job and interview some of his friends and colleagues and so on, and find out a little bit more to give a much more in-depth story that I hope that he might have liked and that his family will appreciate. And so we've done that on page 40. Desperately sorry to see Dennis go. He's a great guy, and I never met him when he didn't make me smile immediately. But anyway, there we are. That's my little piece for this time. Please read the magazine, please enjoy it, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.